The 1974 Moto Guzzi Dorado, listed for $8,500 in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, is a remarkably preserved, low-mileage, police-spec California civilian model that has undergone extensive recent mechanical restoration. With only 18,933 miles, 2 owners, and major engine and carburetor work completed by respected Moto Guzzi specialists, this Dorado stands as a high-quality collector piece that is also ready for reliable, carefree riding. For enthusiasts who know the value of these models, or for newcomers discovering Moto Guzzi's golden era craftsmanship, this machine is a rare opportunity. The Moto Guzzi Dorado holds a special place in the world of classic motorcycles. Produced in the early to mid-1970s, the Dorado was the flagship of Moto Guzzi's Big Twin lineup, using the company's legendary transverse V-twin engine, paired with shaft drive, durable construction, and handling characteristics that earned a loyal following among police departments across the United States. The California police models in particular became famous for their comfort, stability, and rock-solid reliability during long patrol duty. This specific Dorado is identified as a California police civilian bike, meaning it was built to police specifications but sold for civilian use. These models are especially desirable among collectors because they use higher-end components, reinforced brackets, police-spec wiring, and upgraded comfort features. Finding a clean, stock example with correct parts and low mileage is increasingly difficult. What truly elevates this motorcycle above typical listings is the extensive professional mechanical restoration completed within the last 2 years. The owner invested significantly to ensure the bike runs beautifully and can be enjoyed without the typical concerns associated with a 50-year-old machine. The most important work is the complete top-end rebuild performed in 2023 by Millennium Technologies, one of the most reputable names in cylinder replating and engine machining in the United States. The rebuild included replated cylinders, new pistons and rings, full valve train assembly, new seals and gaskets, fresh top-end tolerances. This alone represents a major investment. The seller paid $2,315 just for this work, and it essentially resets the engine's mechanical life. Next, the carburetors were professionally rebuilt in 2023 by Moto Guzzi Classics, under Mark Etheridge, a highly respected specialist in vintage Guzzi restoration. Proper carburetor tuning is vital for these big twins, and having them rebuilt by a recognized expert ensures smooth fueling, crisp throttle response, and reliable cold starts. In December 2024, the bike received additional service from an authorized Tulsa Moto Guzzi dealer, including new tires, new airbox rubber, new air filter, new choke cable, brake fluid flush, miscellaneous mechanical adjustments, and safety updates. This service cost $1,203, bringing the bike to a truly carefree mechanical condition, as the seller describes. In addition to the major service, the bike comes with valuable original components. Original seat, original exhaust, original mirrors, original keys, original owner's manual, factory toolkit. Having all of these parts dramatically increases the bike's appeal for collectors who value authenticity and completeness. The Dorado's black exterior finish gives it a timeless, authoritative presence, especially appropriate for a police-spec heritage model. The frame, tank lines, chrome detailing, and V-twin layout express Moto Guzzi's classic aesthetic, a blend of Italian engineering precision and American-influenced touring ergonomics. Mechanically, the bike runs, shifts, and rides beautifully, according to the seller. This is exactly what a properly restored Dorado should deliver. Smooth torque from the 850 cubic centimeters V-twin, predictable clutch engagement, stable low-speed control, and effortless highway cruising thanks to the long-stroke engine and shaft drive. Moto Guzzi's big twins from this era are known for durability, and with this level of recent service, the next owner can expect reliability for years to come. With only 18,933 miles, the bike sits at exceptionally low mileage for a 1974 motorcycle, further enhancing its value. Many Dorados from this era exceed 50,000 to 70,000 miles, making sub 20K mile examples extremely uncommon. The seller notes the bike is high-end collectible and encourages potential buyers to research auction results or listings on Bring a Trailer. And they're absolutely right. Clean Eldorados with recent professional mechanical work regularly attract strong attention in the collector market. At $8,500, considering the upgrades, original parts, low mileage, and documented professional restoration, this Eldorado is priced very competitively. The 1974 Moto Guzzi Eldorado, $8,500, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Low miles, top-end rebuild, professional carb work. A meticulously serviced, collector-grade Italian classic ready for its next curator or rider. And 4 American Iron Horse Chopper LSC, listed for $10,000 in Huntington Beach, California, is a high-performance, factory-custom chopper powered by a massive 111 cubic inch S&S engine and paired with a Rivera Primo 6-speed transmission. With a clean title, a single owner since new, and a striking jet black and chrome presentation, this long, low, and aggressive chopper remains one of the most iconic machines of the early 2000s custom motorcycle boom. For anyone seeking a true American-style power cruiser with presence, heritage, and serious performance capability, this Iron Horse stands ready. American Iron Horse was one of the premier factory custom builders of the late 1990s and early 2000s, famous for combining showbike styling with legitimate durability and mechanical integrity. Unlike many backyard choppers of the era, Iron Horse bikes were engineered with precision, high-quality components, and a level of refinement that allowed them to be ridden hard rather than just displayed. The LSC model, low-seat chopper, was one of their flagship builds, celebrated for its long rake, big rear tire, and muscular silhouette. At the center of this machine is the 111 cubic inch S&S V-twin, a performance powerhouse known for massive torque, bulletproof construction, and unmistakable American sound. The S&S 111 delivers strong acceleration, a broad power band, and the kind of throttle response that defines the classic big-inch chopper experience. These motors, when properly maintained, are capable of extremely high mileage, and the fact that this bike shows 161,000 miles is actually a testament to how well it has been cared for. Few choppers ever make it near six-figure mileage. Even fewer remain healthy and road-ready afterward. This one clearly belonged to a rider who knew how to maintain his machine. Backing the engine is a Rivera Primo 6-speed transmission, one of the most respected aftermarket gearboxes in the chopper world. Rivera Primo drivetrains are known for smooth shifts, excellent durability, and quiet operation despite the massive torque they handle. The extra overdrive gear also makes highway cruising more comfortable, keeping RPMs lower and reducing vibration, a major benefit on a long-frame chopper. The bike is equipped with a digital speedometer, a modern touch that ensures accurate readings while preserving the minimalist front-end appearance. The 280 rear tire is another defining feature of the LSC. This wide rear tire gives the bike huge visual impact, a planted stance, and a classic early 2000s custom chopper feel. Paired with 16-inch ape hangers, the ergonomics are unmistakably aggressive. Long reach, low seat, and that commanding rider posture that chopper enthusiasts love. Cosmetically, the bike is finished in jet black with extensive chrome, delivering a timeless custom aesthetic. The chrome detailing is enhanced further with spiked hardware, giving the bike a sharp, aggressive, rebellious vibe. A custom seat with a Maltese cross adds period-correct styling and ties perfectly into the chopper culture of the era. Beyond the aesthetics, the seller notes recent maintenance and upgrades, including a new belt and gear, critical items on a high-torque belt-driven chopper. The bike also includes an extra exhaust system, brand new in the box, providing flexibility for a different sound or performance setup, depending on the next owner's preference. The machine comes with a clean title, and perhaps the most valuable detail of all, this is a one-owner motorcycle, sold with the original owner's manual. In the world of custom choppers, where bikes often change hands, get modified endlessly, and lose their history, having documentation and single-owner provenance dramatically increases confidence and value. The seller explains that the only reason for parting with the motorcycle is that he had a stroke and can no longer ride it. This detail, while unfortunate, is meaningful. It implies the bike was never abandoned, neglected, or sold due to mechanical issues. Instead, it comes from a long-term owner who took care of it, loved it, and maintained it properly throughout its lifetime. Located in Huntington Beach, California, this bike comes from a region with excellent riding conditions and a strong custom motorcycle culture. Southern California choppers tend to be well-maintained, weather-protected, and highly serviced due to the high density of custom shops and mechanics, all of which benefits the next owner. At $10,000, this 2004 American Iron Horse LSC represents strong value. A massive S&S engine, Rivera Primo drivetrain, single ownership, high-end custom components, and a look that still turns heads 2 decades later. The 2004 American Iron Horse Chopper LSC, $10,000, Huntington Beach, California. 111 CI S&S power. 6-speed Primo gearbox. 280 rear tire. A long, aggressive, meticulously maintained factory chopper ready for its next rider. 2005 Harley-Davidson Softail, listed for $8,000 in North Hollywood, California, is a clean, well-kept, low-mileage cruiser equipped with brand-new tires, fresh fishtail exhausts, and the unmistakable styling that has made the Softail lineup one of Harley's most enduring platforms. With only 12,000 miles, 2 owners, and excellent mechanical condition, this bike represents a strong choice for anyone seeking a dependable mid-2000s Harley with classic lines and modern rideability. The 2005 Softail generation is widely regarded as one of Harley-Davidson's most balanced designs, combining the timeless rigid frame look with the comfort of hidden rear suspension. Riders get the aesthetic of a traditional hardtail while benefiting from a smooth, refined ride that performs well on both city streets and open highways. These mid-2000s models were built during Harley's quality renaissance, featuring stronger components, cleaner wiring, better fit and finish, and more reliable drivetrains compared to earlier decades. This particular Softail has been very well maintained, according to the seller. The most immediate advantage is the installation of brand new tires, eliminating one of the biggest expenses in used bike ownership. New rubber gives the bike sharper handling, better grip, and improved safety, especially important on a heavyweight cruiser. Another standout upgrade is the addition of new fishtail exhausts, which dramatically enhance the bike's classic appearance. Fishtails are iconic in Harley culture, evoking vintage 1940s, 1960s styling while delivering a deeper, smoother exhaust tone. They complement the Softail's long, low silhouette perfectly, adding both visual flair and auditory presence. The seller mentions the brand Samson, indicating these are modern fishtails designed for proper fitment and sound. With just 12,000 miles, this Softail sits at the lower end of the mileage spectrum for a 2005 model, a major selling point. Harley big twin engines are known for longevity, often running well past 70,000 to 100,000 miles with proper care. A 12,000-mile example is essentially barely broken in, offering decades of riding life ahead. The low mileage also suggests the bike has lived an easier life, likely used for occasional weekend rides rather than heavy commuting or cross-country miles. Visually, the motorcycle wears a brown exterior, an uncommon and eye-catching color in the Softail lineup. Brown finishes, especially deeper, metallic shades, give Harley cruisers a rich, vintage look that stands out from the typical black or chrome-dominant builds. Combined with chrome accents and fishtail pipes, the bike likely presents a refined yet bold aesthetic. The seller is clear about the motorcycle's condition. Runs like new, well kept. Mid-2000 Softails are known for their reliability, and when combined with a 10 of ownership, they deliver smooth power, predictable handling, and strong long-distance capability. This is a bike that should be ready to ride with minimal additional investment. With 2 owners, the motorcycle has a traceable history, often reflecting better than average care. Multi-owner turnover in a short span can sometimes raise concerns, but a stable 2-owner path suggests the bike stayed in responsible hands. The seller emphasizes serious buyers only and explicitly notes no lowball offers, indicating confidence in the bike's condition and pricing. At $8,000, this Softail sits within the typical range for clean mid-2000s Harley cruisers, especially those with low mileage, new consumables, and desirable custom touches. Located in North Hollywood, California, the motorcycle benefits from a climate that is typically dry and gentle on metal, reducing the risk of corrosion and long-term weathering. Southern California bikes are often in above-average condition due to year-round riding weather and access to countless Harley-Davidson dealerships and independent shops. For riders looking to enter the Harley world with a dependable, stylish, low-mileage cruiser, or for experienced Harley owners seeking a clean Softail with classic upgrades, this 2005 model offers a compelling balance of value, reliability, and timeless styling. The 2005 Harley-Davidson Softail, $8,000, North Hollywood, California. 12K miles. New tires. New fishtails. A well-kept, ready-to-ride Softail with classic cruiser character and modern reliability. 71 BMW R80, listed for $13,000 in Harbor City, California, is a unique hybrid machine. A CJ750 chassis outfitted with a BMW R80 engine compared to a military-style sidecar, a 4-speed transmission, and reverse gear. With only 1,000 miles on the motor, a rugged military green finish, and a long list of period-style extras, this rig offers an unmistakable presence on the road and an experience that blends classic German engineering with vintage sidecar utility. Sidecar motorcycles occupy a special place in the riding world. They draw attention everywhere they go, deliver unmatched stability, and offer a form of motorcycling that feels half adventure, half mechanical heritage. This particular setup is even more compelling because it combines two legendary platforms: the CJ750 sidecar chassis, known for its rugged military DNA, and the BMW R80 airhead engine, renowned for its reliability, smoothness, and torque-heavy character. The heart of this build, the BMW R80 motor, is a durable and respected power plant. Airhead engines from this era are famous for running hundreds of thousands of miles with proper care. The fact that this one has only 1,000 miles makes it effectively new in the world of BMW Boxer twins. The R80 engine provides significantly more power than the original CJ750 motor, transforming the rig from a slow, utilitarian machine into a capable street-going sidecar outfit with real usable performance. The transmission is a 4-speed gearbox with reverse, a crucial feature on sidecar motorcycles. Reverse gear makes maneuvering the rig dramatically easier, especially in parking lots, driveways, tight alleys, or situations where the weight of the sidecar prevents backing up manually. A reverse-equipped drivetrain is one of the most sought-after attributes in sidecar rigs, often adding significant value over more basic builds. Finished in military green, the bike carries a tough, retro, utilitarian aesthetic reminiscent of mid-20th century field motorcycles used across Europe and Asia. The paint suits the sidecar format perfectly, understated but commanding, simple yet unmistakably eye-catching. According to the seller, the bike comes with lots of extras, which often includes period equipment such as spare fuel cans, luggage racks, blackout-style lighting, toolkits, or military-style accessories that enhance both practicality and visual authenticity. The sidecar itself appears to be a traditional CJ-style tub, known for their steel construction, stable geometry, and roomy passenger floor. These sidecars are appreciated for their durability and for their vintage mechanical character, complete with a rugged frame, simple suspension, and classic lines. Combined with the BMW engine's smoothness, the result is a rig that feels strong, dependable, and full of personality. With manual transmission, classic boxer torque, and a lower center of gravity, this build offers a riding experience that is very different from solo motorcycles. Sidecar rigs do not lean. Instead, they steer like a lightweight, three-wheeled vehicle, with asymmetrical handling that rewards skilled input. For many riders, learning this style becomes part of the joy, a whole new dimension of motorcycling that balances nostalgia, mechanics, and adventure. The bike has had two owners, indicating a traceable ownership history that often correlates with better maintenance and more careful long-term stewardship. The seller notes the machine runs good and emphasizes that it is definitely a head-turner, a statement that holds true for nearly any sidecar-equipped motorcycle, especially one with a military aesthetic and a BMW power plant. At $13,000, the pricing reflects the rarity of a clean CJ750 sidecar rig upgraded with a BMW R80 engine. A standalone BMW R80 in strong running condition already holds notable value. Adding a full sidecar setup, reverse gear, custom military finish, low mileage, and extras makes this a compelling offer for enthusiasts looking for something unique. Located in Harbor City, California, the motorcycle sits in an area rich with classic bike culture and near some of the best riding environments for sidecar rigs. From coastal roads to wide suburban boulevards where the handling characteristics of a hack setup truly shine. For collectors, weekend explorers, or enthusiasts wanting an attention-grabbing vintage rig with real-world usability, this 1971 R80/CJ 750 Hybrid offers an ideal balance of history, fun, and mechanical charm. The 1971 BMW R80 with CJ 750 sidecar, $13,000, Harbor City, California. BMW power, military styling, reverse gear, a rare vintage sidecar build that delivers character, capability, and pure three-wheel enjoyment. 1950 Harley-Davidson Hydra-Glide, listed for $11,450 in Aurora, Colorado, is a vintage panhead with a modernized mid-60s inspired configuration, featuring a freshly rebuilt matching numbers motor, a 5-speed split transmission, electric start, rear disc brake, and upgraded STD performance heads. For collectors and classic Harley riders who want the look of a 1950 panhead with the ride quality of a later-generation big twin, this motorcycle offers one of the best blends of authenticity, engineering, and usability currently on the market. The original 1950 Hydra-Glide represented a major step forward for Harley-Davidson. It was the early era of hydraulic forks, improved long-distance comfort, and the now iconic panhead engine, an overhead valve V-twin that defined the look and sound of Harley-Davidson through the 1950s and early 60s. Today, panheads remain some of the most desirable and collectible American motorcycles ever produced. This particular example retains its 1950 identity and carries a 1950 Harley-Davidson title, but it has been thoughtfully upgraded with components that mirror the engineering improvements of Harley's 1965 to 1968 models. The result is a motorcycle with the soul of a 1950 classic, but the rideability and mechanical refinement of a later panhead. At the heart of the bike is a recently rebuilt matching numbers panhead engine, completed by Klasik Motorcycle in Fort Collins, Colorado, a known, reputable vintage Harley shop. The motor has only 200 miles on the rebuild, making it essentially a fresh engine with a long road ahead. Matching case numbers dramatically increase the motorcycle's collectible value and authenticity, confirming the motor's original heritage. Even better, the engine uses STD performance heads. STD heads are highly respected in the vintage Harley community for improved airflow, stronger combustion, and increased durability. The seller notes that these heads breathe like a shovel, giving the panhead a noticeable performance advantage over stock units. For riders who want panhead character with enhanced torque and efficiency, this is a major upgrade. The motorcycle also features a 5-speed split transmission, one of the most valuable and respected aftermarket drivetrains available for vintage Harleys. Split transmissions are known for precision engineering, smooth shifting, and excellent durability. The addition of a 5-speed gearbox transforms the riding experience, especially on the highway, where the extra gear lowers RPMs, reduces vibration, and allows the panhead to cruise comfortably at modern speeds. Another significant upgrade is the electric start, a feature not found on 1950 models. Adding electric start brings modern convenience to a vintage platform, making the bike dramatically easier to operate while still retaining the classic big twin sound. The combination of electric start, a strong 5-speed gearbox, and the STD heads truly elevates the bike into the realm of practical daily rider vintage Harleys. The motorcycle also features a rear disc brake, a substantial improvement over the original drum setup. Disc brakes offer better stopping power, consistency, and safety, essential for riders who plan to put real miles on a panhead. A disc brake is an especially valuable addition when paired with a modern transmission and a stronger breathing engine. The frame is a swing-arm chassis, aligning the bike with later panhead models, 1965 to 1968. These frames offer improved stability, rear suspension travel, and higher speed control compared to the rigid frames used on early Hydra-Glides. The seller mentions the bike is basically set up as a 65 to 68 bike, reflecting a clear intention, preserving the classic panhead aesthetic while updating the mechanical foundation for comfort and reliability. Cosmetically, the motorcycle presents as a well-kept vintage rider. The used, good condition rating suggests a clean, functional machine with minimal cosmetic wear. The combination of Hydra-Glide styling, swing-arm frame proportions, and modern upgrades gives the bike a timeless, balanced profile, equal parts classic and practical. At $11,450, this 1950 Hydra-Glide is priced extremely well considering the matching numbers motor, professional rebuild, split 5-speed, electric start, STD heads, and rear disc brake. Rebuilding a panhead engine alone can exceed several $1,000s. Adding premium upgrades like these easily doubles the investment. Located in Aurora, Colorado, this motorcycle is ready for a new owner who appreciates both the history and the enhanced functionality this build represents. For collectors, riders, or panhead enthusiasts seeking dependability without sacrificing originality, this bike checks all the right boxes. The 1950 Harley-Davidson Hydra-Glide, $11,450, Aurora, Colorado. Matching numbers. Fresh rebuild. Split 5-speed. STD heads. A vintage panhead elevated into a refined, rideable classic. 1937 Harley-Davidson EL Knucklehead, listed for $125,000 in San Diego, California, is a museum-grade early knucklehead with matching numbers, a clear title, a period-correct build, and only 1,000 miles on its most recent rebuild. As one of the earliest years of Harley's iconic overhead valve Big Twin, this 1937 EL is not just a motorcycle. It is a historically significant artifact that represents the beginning of Harley-Davidson's modern engineering era. For collectors, very few machines carry the prestige of a pre-war knucklehead. The EL was introduced in 1936, immediately redefining American motorcycling with its advanced OHV design, improved lubrication, stronger power output, and distinctive rocker box shape that gave rise to the name Knucklehead. Early production knuckleheads, especially 1936 to 1939 examples, are some of the most sought-after antique Harley-Davidsons in existence. They rarely appear for sale, and when they do, they command premium values because of their rarity, engineering importance, and extremely low surviving numbers. This particular example stands out immediately for being a matching numbers motorcycle, meaning the frame and engine retain their original identity. On knuckleheads, especially pre-war examples, matching numbers are exceptionally rare and heavily influence pricing. Many early Harleys were separated from their original cases or frames through decades of use, military surplus redistribution, and post-war rebuilding practices. Having correct, original number cases elevates this bike into the upper tier of collector-grade machines. Equally important is the clear, proper title, confirming legal provenance, and simplifying ownership transfer, a critical factor with motorcycles of this age and value. Documentation is everything in the world of antique Harley-Davidsons, and this one passes that test. The engine was rebuilt around 2010 and has since accumulated only 1,000 miles. That means the mechanical components have been refreshed, tolerances reset, and the power plant prepared for another lifetime of reliable operation. However, the bike then sat for 13 years, a detail that adds authenticity. It suggests long-term preservation rather than constant modification. For many antique collectors, A rebuild followed by careful storage is far more desirable than a machine that has been continuously altered or ridden into wear. The seller notes that the bike retains all proper parts and pieces, with 85% real sheet metal. This is extremely rare. Much of the surviving knucklehead population features replacement aftermarket tanks, fenders, and trim due to wartime metal shortages, racing use, and decades of rebuilds. Having 85% original sheet metal means the motorcycle carries authentic components from the 1930s, the kind of detail that significantly increases historical and market value. One unique detail is the inclusion of 1938-style handlebars, a correct and desirable visual upgrade consistent with period-correct aesthetics. Many early knucklehead owners during the late 1930s updated their handlebars as Harley refined ergonomics and styling. This small but important detail aligns with typical modifications made during that era, adding to the bike's organic authenticity rather than detracting from originality. With its pre-war chassis, early EL engine architecture, and correct sheet metal proportions, this motorcycle embodies the unmistakable silhouette that collectors worldwide recognize instantly. The long, flowing fenders, split fuel tanks, rigid rear frame, and graceful Springer front end reflect the design language that made Harley-Davidson a dominant name in American motorcycling culture. The condition is listed as used good, which for a machine of this age and historical significance typically indicates a well-preserved example that retains authentic character without excessive over-restoration. Many high-value knuckleheads suffer from over-polish syndrome. Too shiny, too modernized, too perfect. This example, by contrast, appears to maintain the right balance. Restored where necessary, preserved where appropriate, and equipped with correct era hardware. At $125,000, the price reflects the motorcycle's notability. Matching numbers, correct title, original sheet metal, low miles on the rebuild, and pre-war provenance. Early knuckleheads routinely sell in the six-figure range, and restored, matching number 1937 ELs have become increasingly difficult to find as collectors lock them into private collections. Located in San Diego, California, the motorcycle is being offered with local pickup, appropriate for a machine of this caliber. Many collectors prefer in-person inspection and hand delivery for high-value antiques, further underscoring the prestige and authenticity of the offering. For serious Harley historians, pre-war collectors, or investors seeking a blue-chip vintage motorcycle with long-term appreciation potential, this EL represents the kind of opportunity that surfaces only a handful of times each decade. The 1937 Harley-Davidson EL Knucklehead, $125,000, San Diego, California. Matching numbers. Clear title. 85% original sheet metal. A pre-war masterpiece and one of the rarest American motorcycles ever built. The 1955 BSA B31, listed for $2,800 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is a remarkably complete mid-century British single featuring matching frame and engine numbers, original character, and long-term indoor storage. Powered by a 348 cubic centimeters overhead valve single-cylinder engine, this classic BSA is a solid, well-preserved survivor that offers a rare blend of authenticity, simplicity, and revival potential. For vintage British motorcycle enthusiasts, this is an outstanding entry-level collectible or restoration platform with excellent historical value. The BSA B31 is one of the most iconic models in Birmingham Small Arms Company's post-war lineup. First introduced in the late 1940s and produced through the 1950s, the B31 became famous for its rugged reliability, accessible performance, and classic British styling. The model was beloved for its straightforward engineering, an air-cooled OHV single, a robust 4-speed gearbox, and a chassis capable of handling both daily riding and touring duty. In its era, the B31 was considered one of the most dependable and practical motorcycles on the road. This particular 1955 example features matching frame, CB31, and engine, BB31, numbers, an important detail for collectors. Matching numbers verify that the motorcycle retains its original mechanical identity, a feature that significantly enhances value and authenticity. Many old British singles lost their matching number status over decades of repairs, engine swaps, or incomplete restorations. Retaining both original numbers is a strong indicator of an unmolested machine. The bike comes with a swing arm frame, a notable improvement over earlier rigid frame designs. By the mid-1950s, swing arm suspension transformed the B31 into a smoother, more comfortable, and more modern-feeling motorcycle. This upgrade alone makes the 1955 model year especially desirable among collectors and riders who want the vintage experience with better road manners. The motorcycle retains several core period features. Alloy fenders, giving the bike lightweight durability and classic British styling. Solo seat, offering the correct mid-50s aesthetic and riding ergonomics. Traditional upright handlebars and tank shape, emblematic of BSA's clean, functional design language. Most importantly, the motorcycle retains its original character throughout, a statement that signals the bike has not been over-restored, modified into a custom build, or stripped of its vintage identity. Collector motorcycles with strong originality tend to appreciate more over time, and they provide a more authentic restoration experience for enthusiasts. According to the seller, the B31 was running when parked and has been stored indoors for the past 15 years. Long-term indoor storage is critical for the preservation of metal components, frame integrity, chrome surfaces, and electrical systems. A dry environment helps prevent corrosion, fading, and deterioration of original parts. Many neglected British classics suffer from rust, weathering, or improper storage, issues this bike appears to have avoided. Of course, after 15 years off the road, the BSA will require routine recommissioning, as expected for any vintage machine. The seller mentions the usual checklist: fresh fluids, carburetor cleaning, battery replacement, new tires, general inspection, possible cable lubrication or replacement. These tasks fall well within the standard revival process for a stored vintage motorcycle and are relatively straightforward for a 1950s British single. The B31's mechanical simplicity makes it an excellent choice for do-it-yourself mechanics or enthusiasts looking for a manageable restoration project. The 348 cubic centimeters OHV engine is one of BSA's most respected designs, smooth, torquey, and surprisingly capable for its displacement. These motors are known to run reliably for decades with basic maintenance. Once recommissioned, the bike will deliver the classic thump and relaxed power band that British singles are celebrated for. With proper tuning, the B31 offers a charming, tractable riding experience at city or country road speeds. The asking price of $2,800 is notably reasonable considering the bike's matching numbers, completeness, originality, and stored indoor condition. In today's vintage market, where British singles, especially unrestored survivors, are gaining renewed interest, this price positions the bike as a strong value for collectors and riders alike. Being offered for pickup in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the motorcycle is available in a region where climate tends to be more stable than coastal environments, potentially contributing to its better-than-average preservation. For enthusiasts wanting a true mid-century British classic, one that is complete, authentic, and well-suited for a straightforward revival, this 1955 BSA B31 is an excellent opportunity. The 1955 BSA B31, $2,800, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Matching numbers. Indoor stored. Classic 348 cubic centimeters British single. A well-preserved survivor ready for recommissioning or full restoration. Harley-Davidson Sportster 1000, listed for $1,900 in Yuma, Arizona, is a remarkably clean ironhead project bike offered with a Texas title and stored indoors for years. With only 1,234 miles showing, a manual transmission, and a black exterior, this classic Sportster stands as a solid foundation for a straightforward restoration, mild custom build, or simple revival for riders who appreciate Harley's raw, vintage character. The Ironhead Sportster, produced from 1957 to 1985, is one of Harley-Davidson's most iconic engines. known for its unmistakable mechanical feel, unique sound, and tough, old-school personality. By 1979, Harley had refined the formula into a 1,000 cubic centimeters version that delivered stronger performance, better reliability, and more modern rideability than earlier iterations. Today, the Ironhead occupies a special place in American motorcycle history. It bridges the transition between the rigid, mechanical nature of early Harleys and the more polished evolution era that followed. This particular 1979 example is being offered as a restoration project, but the seller emphasizes that it should not take much to get it running. That statement immediately sets it apart from the typical neglected barn find or incomplete basket case projects often seen in this price range. This bike has been kept inside the seller's home, which is extremely important when evaluating the condition of an older motorcycle. Indoor storage protects frame and metal components from corrosion, wiring from moisture-related deterioration, chrome parts from pitting and rust, rubber components from UV damage, paint and finishes from fading. A 45-year-old motorcycle that has been stored inside a home, not a shed, not outdoors, not exposed to weather, is already in the top tier of potential project candidates. The asking price of $1,900 is also very competitive for a complete Ironhead, especially given today's rising interest in vintage Harleys. Many non-running or partially complete Ironheads sell for similar or higher prices, often without documentation or with unknown histories. Here, the presence of a Texas title adds a major advantage. Having a legitimate, transferable title simplifies registration and ensures the bike is legally recognized, which is a major concern for Klasik project buyers. The 1979 Sportster 1000 carries the classic styling cues of the Ironhead era. Narrow, athletic frame geometry, peanut-style tank, minimalist front end, distinctive pushrod tubes, and mechanical top-end profile. Compact, aggressive silhouette. These bikes have long been a favorite platform for custom builders due to their simplicity and unmistakable character. They easily transform into traditional bobbers, brat-style builds, period-correct restorations, lightweight bar hoppers, tracker, or scrambler-style customs. Because the seller notes the motorcycle is very clean, it suggests a well-preserved starting point rather than a full teardown project. Cleanliness generally indicates no long-term exposure to the elements, no major structural corrosion, higher chance that the engine internals are still in decent shape. Good candidate for a carburetor clean, new battery, fresh fluids, and basic tune-up. The odometer shows 1,234 miles, which is likely either reset, replaced, or simply not reflective of the bike's true lifetime mileage. That is common for motorcycles of this age. Still, low indicated miles can suggest limited use near the end of its running life before storage. Mechanically, the Ironhead platform is famous for being straightforward and rugged. Most revival steps for a stored Ironhead include cleaning or rebuilding the carburetor, replacing the battery, new spark plugs, fresh oil and primary fluid, checking the ignition system, points, or electronic depending on year, inspecting fuel tank and lines for varnish, installing new tires if needed. Compared to restoring older Harley models with more complex quirks, the 1,000 cubic centimeters Ironhead is relatively accessible for home mechanics. Another reason these bikes remain popular projects. Located in Yuma, Arizona, the motorcycle benefits from a dry climate that naturally helps preserve vintage machines. Bikes stored in Arizona often show far less rust than bikes stored in humid or coastal regions. When combined with indoor storage, it strongly suggests this Sportster has survived in above-average condition. For someone looking for an affordable entry into classic Harley ownership, a clean starting point for a custom build, a low-cost restoration project, a vintage bike with genuine American heritage, a garage project with big upside potential, this 1979 Sportster 1000 is a compelling choice. At under $2,000, running or not, the price-to-value ratio is excellent. The 1979 Harley-Davidson Sportster 1000, $1,900, Yuma, Arizona. Indoor stored. Clean Ironhead Project, a classic American V-twin ready for revival, restoration, or customization. The Yamaha XS1100S, listed for $2,000 in Round Rock, Texas, is a classic Japanese street bike known for its big displacement power, durability, and strong reputation as one of the fastest and most capable inline fours of its era. With a black exterior, 123,456 miles showing, and a running engine that still delivers plenty of power, this XS1100S is an excellent opportunity for enthusiasts seeking either a vintage restoration project or a raw, old-school muscle bike to enjoy as is. The Yamaha XS1100, often called the XS11, was one of the most important motorcycles of the late 1970s and early 1980s. Introduced in 1978, it quickly earned recognition for its massive torque, smooth inline-four power delivery, shaft drive reliability, and surprisingly refined long-distance performance. Back then, the XS1100 was Yamaha's flagship superbike and one of the most powerful production motorcycles in the world. Even today, it remains a legend among fans of big, air-cooled Japanese machines. This specific example, the XS1100S model, carries the core mechanical strength of the series. A powerful air-cooled 1,101 cubic centimeters inline four, strong mid-range torque, durable shaft drive, smooth, stable high-speed handling, proven long-term reliability. The seller notes that the bike starts and runs good and still has plenty of power, which is typical of the XS11 platform. These engines are famously tough and can reach very high mileage with proper care. The 123,456 miles shown on the odometer indicate the bike has been well used over the decades, but the fact that it continues to run strongly is a testament to Yamaha's engineering during this era. The XS1100S appeals to two distinct types of motorcycle enthusiasts. 1. Riders who want a raw, powerful vintage street machine. With its big inline-four engine, the XS11 delivers a visceral riding experience that modern bikes simply no longer replicate. The power is immediate, the sound is mechanical and authoritative, and the chassis carries that unmistakable 1980s muscle bike stance. Many riders enjoy these bikes exactly as they are, big, bold, and unfiltered. 2. Restorers who appreciate classic Japanese superbikes. The XS1100 platform is gaining popularity among collectors of vintage Japanese motorcycles. As interest in 1970s, 1980s performance bikes rises, models like the XS11, once overlooked, are receiving the recognition they deserve. This bike's running condition and complete appearance make it a solid candidate for full restoration, period-correct refurbishment, mild custom build, preservation as a survivor bike. Restoring an XS1100S is also relatively accessible thanks to the wide availability of parts, active online communities, and the engine's inherently simple, durable design. The motorcycle is finished in black, a timeless color that complements the XS1100's muscular frame and angular styling. The black exterior enhances the bike's aggressive presence and suits its role as a vintage street bruiser. Although this XS11 has high mileage, the seller emphasizes that it's ready to enjoy for an experienced rider, suggesting it's fully capable of being ridden now, even before any restoration work is done. Experienced riders will appreciate the combination of strong engine response, stable handling, and shaft drive smoothness, qualities that made the XS1100 a favorite touring and performance bike in its day. Because the bike is more than 40 years old, some expected recommissioning or maintenance may be required depending on the new owner's goals. However, the listing does not report any major mechanical issues. The seller's straightforward description, starts and runs good and has plenty of power, suggests that the motorcycle is operational and solid enough to be ridden regularly with basic upkeep. At $2,000, the price is highly competitive for a running, complete big-bore 1980s Japanese classic. Many XS1100S that do not run at all are listed at similar or higher prices, especially as vintage Japanese bikes continue to rise in demand. For someone looking to enter the world of retro superbikes without a large upfront investment, This XS1100S is an appealing choice. Located in Round Rock, Texas, the bike sits in a region with a strong motorcycle culture and generally favorable conditions for long-term machine preservation. Being offered locally also makes it ideal for riders who want to inspect or test the bike before purchase. Whether it becomes a full restoration project, a lightly refreshed vintage cruiser, or a raw and powerful daily rider, this Yamaha XS1100S remains one of the most charismatic and capable motorcycles of its era. The 1980 Yamaha XS1100S, $2,000, Round Rock, Texas. Big displacement. Shaft drive reliability. Vintage Japanese muscle. A running classic ready for restoration or spirited riding. The 2003 Arlen Ness Softail Pro Street, listed for $8,000 in Long Beach, California, is a special construction custom motorcycle with only 2,000 miles and premium components throughout. Featuring house of collar custom paint, billet aluminum wheels, an inverted front suspension, a stretched Pro Street stance, and unique hand-built details, this machine represents the high-end custom era when Arlen Ness style choppers defined American design. For collectors of early 2000s custom culture or riders seeking a rare, one-off machine, this bike stands as an impressive piece of modern custom motorcycle history. The early 2000s were a golden period for American custom bikes. Builders like Arlen Ness, his son Corey Ness, and other West Coast custom houses helped shape a distinctive style. Long, low, Pro Street silhouettes, deep metallic candy paint, oversized rear tires, chromed or polished billet components, and sculpted frames built around V-twin power plants. This 2003 example embodies that era with authenticity, quality, and unmistakable visual impact. The seller describes the motorcycle as a special construction Pro Street chopper, built with premium aftermarket components rather than OEM Harley-Davidson parts. Special construction bikes were typically assembled by skilled builders or small custom shops using high-quality frames, brakes, controls, and wheels, resulting in motorcycles that were not only visually stunning, but also engineered for real-world riding. This bike carries the signature elements of the Pro Street aesthetic. Long, stretched chassis with aggressive rake. Inverted front fork suspension, offering both rigidity and a modern sport bike look. Wide 180mm rear wheel, giving the motorcycle its planted, muscular stance. Billet aluminum wheels, a hallmark of early 2000s custom craftsmanship. 7-gallon stretch tank, an oversized sculpted design commonly seen on high-end customs. House of collar paint, specifically a pea candy finish known for its depth, glow, and high-end aesthetic. House of collar paintwork alone is often a multi-thousand-dollar investment, and on a show-level custom, it becomes a key visual centerpiece. Combined with a bright orange exterior, the bike commands attention from every angle. Powering the motorcycle is a 100ci engine equipped with a performance carburetor. This displacement size was common among custom builders, offering strong torque, reliable operation, and a classic American V-twin feel. The presence of a performance carb indicates improved throttle response and more aggressive fueling, giving the bike a lively and authoritative character on the road. With only 2,000 miles, the motorcycle has seen very limited use since its construction. Low mileage is particularly valuable on special construction bikes because they often require significant investment in parts and labor during the build stage. A lightly used custom typically indicates that the bike was cherished, stored properly, and rode sparingly as a showpiece. The motorcycle also includes a custom gel leather pillion pad passenger seat, a thoughtful addition for comfort and styling. Gel padding is often used in premium custom builds because it maintains comfort without altering the sleek profile of the seat design. The seller mentions additional components such as arc parts, billet aluminum accents, adjustable shark components, and other high-end details. The term shark likely refers to the rear adjustable shock or an air suspension component, a premium touch adding tunability and ride comfort. Custom billet parts throughout the bike contribute to rigidity, reduced weight, and a polished, upscale finish. As a whole, this Arlen Ness style custom delivers Striking visual design, high-quality materials, low mileage, professional paintwork, custom fabricated elements, modern tuned V-twin power, a long, stretched Pro Street silhouette, premium wheels, suspension, and controls. The motorcycle is listed as having 2 owners, suggesting consistent stewardship rather than frequent transfers. This adds confidence to the bike's condition and history, especially important for special construction machines that often rely on meticulous care and correct build documentation. Located in Long Beach, California, the motorcycle comes from a region known for its custom bike culture and a dry climate suitable for long-term preservation. California's West Coast custom scene played a major role in shaping the chopper and Pro Street identity, making this bike feel especially at home in that lineage. At $8,000, the price is notably competitive for a custom build featuring house of collar paint, billet components, an inverted fork, and such low mileage. Many early 2000s customs originally cost $20,000 to $40,000 or more to build, and this example represents strong value for a rider or collector seeking a distinctive machine without the premium new build cost. Whether appreciated as a period-correct custom, revived as a weekend ride, or showcased as a collectible from the golden era of American chopper culture, this motorcycle stands as a stylish and highly distinctive machine. The 2003 Arlen Ness Softail Pro Street, $8,000, Long Beach, California. Low miles, house of collar paint, high-end components, a true early 2000s custom classic ready for its next owner.